शेषार्यवंशकलशोधरिपूर्णचन्द्रम् श्रीमन्नृसिंहगुरुवर्यवराज्यवृन्दम् श्रीमन्ननन्तगुरुवर्यसुतम् गुणाब्धिम् सम्पत्कुमारगुरुवर्यमहम् प्रपद्ये। 11th chapter has 55 shlokas and 3 topics. The first topic is showing Vishvarupa to Arjuna on his request. But he tells that you require a special eye for purposes of seeing this Vishvarupa, and he provides it. And the same is narrated by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya comes 3 times in this shloka because he is the most enjoyer of this Vishvarupa along with Arjuna. So, whatever that went on in this conversation, he explains to Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya had come first in the first chapter. No, again he comes 3 times here. Because there is a type of vision that was shown to Arjuna on his request. So, for the onset and growth of Bhakti Yoga, the Lord was said to be the self of all things, said in the 10th chapter. Going with this was a description of his Kalyana Gunas, unique and natural to him, but different from others. The living and inanimate entities constituting his body depend on him for their activities. Arjuna, having heard from the Lord and having been convinced of what has been said, desires to see the Lord in this manner. It will not be long that by the Lord's grace, Arjuna will be witness to those wonders, infinite and all-sided Lords. Ground to a single shot, the universe unfolding its several dimensions to him. The first consideration that emerges from Ramanuja's interpretation is that it is a revelation of ultimate reality for him. It is neither a picture conjured by fancy nor an account of reality from a lower point of view. In the detailed interpretation of the text, there are striking points of interest. The sublime poetry of the original stands expounded in a way that does great justice to it and brings out adequately all the finer aspects of the narrative. Some noteworthy details of this chapter. 1. Arjuna's opening speech contains a synoptic reference to what he has learnt about in the course of the discourse so far. His unconditional acceptance of the truths so communicated and the humble desire to be granted a fuller and more direct revelation is fittingly conveyed. Number 2. Krishna as Yogeshwara means for Ramanuja one who is a repository of all infinite number of auspicious attributes and the possessor of countless glories. Number 3. The vast universe of beings just occupies a tiny part of the boundless vista of God's form. 4. The 3 worlds of beings that are said to be taken off their feet by their spectacle are identified as 3 classes of souls, namely the devoted, hostile, and those that are indifferent to him. The 3 worlds are given a spiritual interpretation. Number 5. The reason for the revelation of the cosmic form to these classes of beings, in addition to Arjuna, is said to be to show to him the fullness of glory by exhibiting the awe-inspired reactions of the admittedly superior beings to the form. Number six, the divine form is not merely all-comprehending, but is very relevant to the historic situation in which Arjuna is placed. In it, he sees his enemies and most of his friends, and also rushing towards destruction. The destructive aspect is shown to convince Arjuna that the destruction that should result from the battle is an inevitable part of the divine plan that is operative. Divine plan that is operative. The revelation that this is meant to eliminate his egoistic sense of becoming the agent in the huge work of destruction. This consciousness and the conviction that he is merely an instrument in the hands of God would make his share in the battle an observance of the purest karma yoga as taught to in the text. The revelation further answers the question that tormented Arjuna whether this contemplated destruction was not immoral. The destruction is shown as divinely executed retribution for evil doing and hence eminently righteous. It is also to be noted that the revelation is not for the resolution of the uncertainty as to which party would be victorious, for that uncertainty never figured as a cause for Arjuna's despondency on Ramanuja's interpretation. Incidentally, of course, the uncertainty is removed as far as Dhritarashtra is concerned. Number seven. Many fine points are made in the explanation of the several features of the divine form. For instance, the fact that the sun and moon form the two eyes is interpreted as representing the rigorous of divine justice and the soothing coolness of divine grace. There are many fine points in the hymn of praise that Arjuna sings for. Eighth, for instance, he asserts that God is all, for he appropriates all beings as their very soul, thereby offering a magnificent interpretation of all the passages in the scriptures in which the Supreme Being is spoken of as one with the universe of finite realities. No scope is left for either a shallow pantheism or an illusionistic monism. Number nine, the glorification of undivided bhakti as the one pathway to the knowledge, vision, and final attainment of God puts an end to all controversies with regard to the proximate means of release. It must be taken as a definitive statement of the philosophy of sadhana as embodied in the Gita, and this is a point of capital importance for Ramanuja's theory of sadhana. Number 10. In the interpretation of the last verse of the chapter, Ramanuja argues that a bhakta must be naturally free from hatred. Hatred proceeds from the experience or fear of injury at the hands of other creatures. For a devotee, the only injury would be alienation from the Lord, and that injury no other being could inflict. Only lack of devotion and the consequent withholding of grace on God's part could bring about this calamity. Further, the other evils that overtake a devotee are explained by him as due to his own former misdeeds. He has no one else to blame. Currently, the other beings are merely tools in the hands of God who executes his inexorable justice and they are not to be blamed as if they were independent agents. Thus, there is no rational ground for hatred, and hence a true bhakta is free from hatred. This statement has great implications, and we are not to work them out here. The question may be asked whether a bhakta, in addition to being free from hatred, actually loves all beings positively and ardently. Ramanuja does not raise or answer this question in this context, but the answer is implicit in the whole doctrine of the Gita, and particularly in the idea of Lokasangraha, Arjun, the analogy of God's own involvement in the cosmic concern of saving souls. It is explicitly stated in the description of the Bhakta in the next chapter as Maitra and Karuna. The doctrine of love of God as inclusive of all nature and all living beings cannot stop with the negative ethics of mere non hatred. Hatred is just a private condition, private as the natural propensity of the ideal self to love God and all that belongs to Him for His sake. Other than this, we can have a bird's eye view of each sloka of this chapter. It contains. Now, he starts with the statement that stricken as I was with the belief that the physical body was the self, you, with the express purpose of blessing me with the most supreme mystery, have given me the proper description of self, starting with never there was a time when I did not exist, and finished with Arjuna. Finishing with Arjuna becomes a yogin. My delusion is fully overcome. So, similarly, I have heard at length from chapter 7 to 10 the appearance and the dissolution of all entities issuing from you, the Supreme Self. O lotus-eyed, I have listened to your supremacy in terms of eternity, overlordship, over living and inanimate entities, auspicious attributes of knowledge, strength, etc., being supported and moved, and movers both voluntarily thinking and involuntarily battling of eyelids activities. O Supreme Lord, I am convinced that you are as you have described yourself. O ocean of kindness, I wish to realize directly your lordly form is being overloaded, which being overlord, protector, creator, destroyer, having auspicious attributes, supreme and distinct compared to all other entities. These are the statements in three chapters. Now, three slokas. Later on, Krishna, if you think it can be seen by me, then he revealed to me your imperishable form. Your divine form possessed of wisdom, glory, energy, strength, valor, and intelligence. O best persons, please show it to me. See, Bhagavan said, Arjuna, behold presently in hundreds and thousands my multifarious divine forms of various colors and shades. Behold in me, Arjuna, the 12 sons of Aditi, the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras, gods of destruction, the 2 Ashwini Kumars, the twins born physicians of gods, and the 49 Maruts, wind gods, and witness many more wonderful forms never seen before. Arjuna, behold, as concentrated within this body of mine, the entire creation consisting of both animate and inanimate beings, and whatever else you desire to see. But surely you cannot see me with these human eyes of yours. Therefore, I vouchsafe to you the divine eye. With this, you behold my divine power of yoga. Sanjaya said, my lord, having spoken thus, Sri Krishna, the supreme master of yoga, forthwith revealed to Arjuna his supreme glorious divine forms. Arjuna saw the supreme deity possessing many mouths and eyes, presenting many a wonderful sight, decked with many divine ornaments, wielding many uplifted divine weapons, wearing divine garlands and cloths, besmeared all over with the divine sandal pates, full of all wonders, infinite and having faces on all sides. If there be the effulgence of a thousand and suns bursting forth all at one time in the heavens, even that would hardly approach the splendor of the mighty Lord. Concentrated at one place in the person of that supreme deity, Arjuna then beheld the whole universe with its manifold divisions. Then Arjuna, full of wonder and with the hair standing on end, reverentially bowed his head to the divine Lord and with joined palm addressed him thus. So, having seen this, he requests for a further explanation of the form. That is, O Lord of the universe, I see you having numerous arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes, and these infinite form extended on all end, on all sides. I see no end, middle, or beginning in your universal form. Your form is difficult to gaze as mass of light flaming all around with diadems, clubs, and discuses. The effulgence blazing like fire and sun is immeasurable. You are the supreme imperishable, worthy to be realized. You are thus ultimate refuge of this universe. You are the eternal imperishable being, protector of ageless dharma, the personality, the Godhead. You are without origin, middle or end, possessing unlimited arms. Sun and moon are your eyes. I see your mouth blazing with fire. You are warming the whole universe with your own radiance. Although you are one, the space between heaven and all quarters are filled by you. Beholding this dreadful form, O Mahatman, all the three worlds are greatly overwhelmed with fear. The whole lot of demigods are surrendering before you and entering you. Some with fear extol you with folded hands, chanting, Hi, all peace. The host of great sages and siddhas are praising you with meaningful hymns. The host of 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas, 8 Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwadevas, 2 Ashwin Kumars, the 49 births, the mains, the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, and Siddhas, all are beholding you in wonder. O mighty armed one, seeing that great and dreadful form, comprising many faces, many eyes, many arms, many thighs, many legs, many bellies, and terrible teeth towards to the worlds are terror struck and tremble, so I am. Seeing your form effulgent, radiant, colored, with wide open mouth and large flaming eyes, touching the skies, my inner being trembles in fear. I am on. I am no longer finding peace, O Lord. Seeing your faces frightful due to the gaping mouths with awe-generating teeth, eyes flaring like fire, I am perturbed and have no mental tranquility. Be kind to me, O Lord of the rivers, resting place of the universe. Parthasarathi, the Arjuna's charioteer, that the Lord's is made clear to Partha, the son of Pritha, that he wished to reduce the burden of the earth by destroying the acidic elements who were, who were masquerading as the sons of Dhritarashtra. There were such elements even among Yudhishthira's warriors. He let it be done. Through the divine eyes and Lord's grace, Arjuna was convinced that the manifestation of the Lord as the originator, controller, etc., and saw the event which was yet to happen as per human calculation with the slaughter of the sons of Dhritarashtra in the Lord's form itself, the Lord being the self of all. All those sons of Dhritarashtra with hosts of monarchs are entering you, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, along with the principal warriors of our side. They make haste to enter your fearful mouth with awful teeth. Some are seen with their heads getting caught between the teeth and getting crushed. As streams of rivers rush into the sea to do all these great warriors, so do all these great warriors enter your flaming mouths. As the moths rush into your destruction in a blazing fire, even so these people rush with full speed into your mouths, devouring all the people from all these sides with your flaming mouths. You are licking them up, Lord. Your scorching rays filling the entire universe with your effulgence and you burn it. O Lord, so fierce a form, let me who you are. My salutations to you. O Supreme God, be kind to me. I want to know about you as primal being, or I know not your mission. The Lord said, I am inflamed Kala, the time spirit, the great destroyer of the worlds. I have come here to destroy the people. Even without you, all these arrayed in the enemy camp must die. Therefore, get up, fight and win glory. Conquering your enemies, enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They have already been put to death. They have already been put to death by arrangement, by my arrangement. And you, Arjuna, dexterous how man be merely an instrument. Nimittamatram bhavasamya sachin. Do kill Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, and Karna, as also other brave warriors who already stand destroyed by me. Do not be distressed. Simply fight, and you will surely conquer the enemies in the battle. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, Having heard these words of the Lord Keshava, Arjuna, trembling, bowed to him with folded hands repeatedly. He spoke to the Lord in faltering voice. Thus, Arjuna said, chanting your names, the world exhales with joy. Hosts of Siddhas prostrate to you, while terrified Rakshasas flee in all directions. Why should they not bow down to you, Mahatma, the progenitor of Brahma himself? O infinite Lord of celestials, with universe as your above, you are the imperishable individual self, the existence, Sat, the non-existence, or Sat, and that of which is beyond fourth. You are primary deity, the oldest ultimate sanctuary of this cosmic world. You are both the knower and the knowable, and you are supreme refuge, O limitless form. You pervade the situation, useless. You pervade the whole universe. You are Vayu, wind god, Yama, god of death, Agni, god of fire, Varuna, god of water, Shashanka, the moon god, Prajapati, the father of Brahma himself, and the great grandsire. Half hail unto you 1,000 times, repeated salutations to you once again. My situations in your form, in you, form front and behind and pro- from all sides. O Lord of infinite prowess and bravery, you are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Not knowing your glories either through intimacy or negligence, I have unfortunately addressed you as O Krishna, O Vasudeva, O my friend. And for dishonor, disrespect I have shown to you, jesting as we relaxed, while playing, sitting, or eating, while laying on the same bed. Sometimes alone, I crave forgiveness from you. What incomprehensible. You are the Father, the complete manifestation of how the moving and non-moving entities. You are the greatest teacher and worthy of adoration. There is none equal to you even. How then could there be anyone greater than you in the world, O Lord of matchless greatness? Therefore, I bow to offer my respect and seek your mercy. Just as a father identifies the imprudence of his, and his son, imprudence of his son, a friend, the impotence of a friend, a wife, the familiarity of her partner. Similarly, tolerate long you think. After seeing your universe form, which I have never seen before, I feel delighted. But at the same time, my mind is tormented with fear. Pray, show me your other form, O Lord of Lords, O Abide, the universe, void the universe is gracious. I wish to see you adorned as before, with crown on the head and mace and discus in the hands. O universal being, appear again in the same form, armed form, in the same four-armed form. The Lord said, O Arjuna, pleased with you. Happily, I have shown you through my free will. With the supreme effulgent universal unlimited prima form, never see by anyone else than you before. Arjuna, in the mental world, I cannot be seen either through the study of Vedas or by performing sacrifices or by charity or by pious activities or by several promises. Since the human being and pleasing form of yours, seeing the human and pleasing form of yours, O Janardana, I have now regained composure of mind and I am restored to original stature. Having spoken this, Sanjaya said, Vasudeva, to gain his four-armed form and then assuming a winning form, Mahatma, it would console the awestruck Arjuna. Arjuna said, seeing you in the human and pleasing form of yours, O Janardana, I have now regained composure of mind and am restored to my original nature. The Lord said, my dear Arjuna, this form of mine which you have been seeing is exceedingly hard to perceive. Even the gods are ever eager to behold this form. Neither by study of Vedas, nor by penance, nor by gifts of charity, nor by sacrifice can I have seen in the form with four arms as you have seen me. Through single-minded devotion, Arjuna, it is possible to know, behold, and even more into me. For Arjuna, it is possible to know through single-minded devotion. Whosoever performs all these duties for my sake, makes me the supreme whole, is devoted to me, free from attachment, and is free from malice towards all beings, reaches me, O Arjuna. So, to sum up, what you are expected to understand is he wants a rehearsal for us of what he has seen in Vibhuti Yoga, the 10th chapter. On request, he shows the Rupa and he is a repository of wonder. So, having wondered, he wants the explanation for each form and he wants to further experience his different Vishvarupa, on which Lord shows the Rupa and he gets upset having seen that. Therefore, he requests Teneva Rupena Chaturbhujena in the same four-armed scene you should exhibit to me so that I can share this idea with all people. So, Vishwarupa is a unique darshana given to Arjuna for knowing God and his form through the eyes. To be continued. Astundarasamaramdham, Yadishekamadhyamam, Lakshmi Valloparyantam, Vande Guru Paramparam.